today's the topic is Madhyamaka, Mahamudra, Dzogchen, isn't it? True. Before that, let me tell you the one thing. Quite a few years back, one lady came in and asked me, and am I going to join the Kala Chakra? At that time, Kala Chakra was given in North India. So I told, no, I'm not going to join that Kala Chakra initiation. Then the lady asked me that if she received the Kala Chakra 3 times, if someone received the Kala Chakra 3 times in their life, they will not born in hell. She heard somehow, she heard like that, and she asked me, is that true? So I told her, no, it's not true. Then she asked me why people say that if you receive the Kala Chakra 3 times, you will never born in the hell. Why they say it? So then I told her, that is a Kala Chakra marketing. That is a Kala Chakra marketing. One point, when you're saying the Mahamudra, Dzogchen, or the Madhyamaka, before understanding that, you have to go back 1,000 years back in the Tibetan, the Buddhism, the system, and the history. So then you will understand how it's a marketing or what. When the Buddhism came in from the India to the Tibet, that time, what the term they're using, because whatever these terms, like a Dzogchen, the Tibetan term, when they started to use this term, Madhyamaka, if you go in the Madhyamaka, the term, have the Buddha himself, any of the Buddha Sutra, have he used the term the Madhyamaka? Now you are the old masters and studying, isn't it, in the Buddhism? Anyway, so that's why the terms, no? Now you go to Mahamudra, which is the earliest text mentioning about a Mahamudra. So my point is that we have to understand that these are the terms. Sometimes these terms will create to attract the peoples. When you call the Madhyamaka, Mahamudra, everything, Ma means a big. Whenever terms add with a big, no? So that you will think, wow, that might be very special. So here when you look, first thing is the most important thing is that here you have to understand, because I travel to so many countries. Every year I travel to different countries. People ask me the different question. They ask me, what is the Tibetan Buddhism? What is the Chinese Buddhism? A lot of things. So I always tell them that I don't know Tibetan Buddhism. I don't know the Chinese Buddhism. I don't know the Japanese Buddhism. I know only one Buddhism. That is a Buddhism of Buddha, that I know it. That's a very important. Second thing is, one time, one of the journalists asked me to talk about a mindfulness meditation. So I told that journalist, which mindfulness you are talking about? Now I see there are the 2 mindfulness. One is a mindfulness of the Buddha, and the one is a market mindfulness. You're talking about which mindfulness? Why I'm saying this mindfulness is that a few years back, I started to do some of the scientific research with the Vanderbilt University, the medical center, some doctors, to see that how can the meditation can affect the body immune system. I select a few groups of people, 10 to 12 people. They did the blood test to see how the body immune system function. Then I introduced the meditation. They practice for the 6 weeks. Then after that, again, they have to do the blood test and to see how it improved their body immune system. So it sounds a very interesting result. We got it. Now I'm in the process of the IRB. You know the IRB. Are you familiar with IRB, Institutional Review Board? So I'm on the process of getting their IRB. Then I want to go for the mass. Once I kind of find the very scientific evidence to prove that the meditation, especially the emptiness, that time I introduced the emptiness meditation to improve the body immune system. Then I told that this meditation will be free to everyone. Whoever want to practice, I want to provide the program. So that's why the Buddhism of the Buddha, idea of the Buddha, that's the more important to understand. Now, traditionally, these all terms come from the tradition term. I will not say these are more terms from the tradition. Mahamudra, Dzogchen, or the Madhyamaka. What this comes from more like a tradition's terms. But the important thing is that, okay, now traditionally, how they explain that, let me tell you. When you look from the Mahamudra or Dzogchen or the Madhyamaka or what emptiness or whatever it comes, you have to look for the time by time. If you look around the 13th century, they all debate each other on this point idea. When you come to the 17th or 18th century, oh, they started the talk, oh, whatever you talk, it's come to the one same point. Century, the explanation is going to change. What I'm telling, you don't have to trust on me, you can do the research, okay? You can ask anyone who are the scholar, okay? Scholar means, which scholar you should ask, that I want to make it very clear, okay? Because scholar means, the scholar means who have you heard about the Geshe Haram? I'm not so sure. The monastery, Geshe Haram, no? Have you heard that term, Geshe Haram? Geshe Haram means it's like a PhD in the Tibetan Buddhism system, okay? PhD, and I done that on the 2002. 2002, I finished that Geshe Haram. Not only I finished that, I became the top among the top divisions of the whole of the 3 great monastery, okay? So that is the thing. Because when you're saying the Mahamudra, is there any common base, Mahamudra and the Dzogchen or that is a Madhyamaka, common base or not? You have to look time by time. If you look in the 13th to 14th century, in that period, whatever the scholar of that period, what's their idea? If you come to the 16th to 17th century, that period, the scholars, what are their idea? If you come to the 19th to 20th century, what the idea of the scholar, it changes. It is not the same at all. It changes. The time changes, their idea changed, explanation got changed. Now, I have to finish in the 1 hour. So I have to finish in an hour. If I go very detailed, I will not finish it in the 1 hour. So come to I will come to the conclusion that will be much better, okay? Most important thing is that I will come to these 2 points, okay? Dzogchen and the Madhyamaka. Especially the Madhyamaka, Lama Tsongkhapa was I always tell that the Lama Tsongkhapa is the brand ambassador of the Madhyamaka idea. He promoted that idea. He promoted. But the one thing, how he promoted, that's a very important at the time when you look at the Lama Tsongkhapa's time. Because he told the Madhyamaka, especially the Madhyamaka idea, when he was promoting, he was not promoted by the force, with the logic reasons. Have you heard about a thought experiment? No, Einstein talked about a thought experiment. Have you idea of the thought experiment? No, Lama Tsongkhapa exactly did that thought experiment. He bring that, and even if you look at his close student, do you know that have you seen the Lama Tsongkhapa photo? If you see the Lama Tsongkhapa photo, he have the 2 close students nearby him. Have you seen that? Are you familiar or not? Okay. If you've seen them, good. If you don't see them, also good. Okay. You don't have to know them. Okay. But my point is that his 2 close students, actually, they came to Lama Tsongkhapa not to pay the respect, to debate with the Lama Tsongkhapa. Because they are criticizing the Lama Tsongkhapa's Madhyamaka idea. They came and the debate with the Lama Tsongkhapa, they got fully convinced by the Lama Tsongkhapa's idea. They become the student of the Lama Tsongkhapa. That is a very unique story of the Lama Tsongkhapa. But unique student, that the student also, they come, they criticize, they debate, they was convinced by the Lama Tsongkhapa Madhyamaka idea. So that's got a very strong influence on at that time, the scholars. If you look at the Lama Tsongkhapa story, a lot of the scholars came after or the time of the Lama Tsongkhapa. They wrote a lot of the poems respecting the Lama Tsongkhapa's idea. They respect. So that's why the Madhyamaka idea comes from Lama Tsongkhapa. Now you look for the Dzogchen. Dzogchen, the idea, time to time, it changed a lot. How I'm saying is that the Dzogchen, the first thing is comes from the Guru Padma Sambhava. Guru Padma, have you heard about the Guru Padma Sambhava? But the Guru Padma Sambhava didn't write any textbook. So it is very difficult to tell what is his real view. You may say it is his view. To prove that, there's no any text or source to prove that is written text of the Guru Padma Sambhava. But traditionally, they say that, have you heard about the hidden secret lineage? There's one lineage called the hidden secret lineage. What they call is that they found some master go to the mountains or the jungles and they bring the one book and tell, oh, this is written by the Guru Padma Sambhava. But here, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not accusing that. That is a tradition. There's such a tradition. It still exists. But my point is that I'm not criticizing. I'm not accusing. I'm not saying what is right and wrong. I'm just telling what has happened in the history. Okay, well, this is what happened in the history. So that's why when you look at the Dzogchen, the terms when you look at the Dzogchen and the Guru Padma Sambhava didn't write any text. So that's why the Dzogchen, when you come to the explanation of the Dzogchen, every of the followers of the tradition by tradition, explanation get changed. If you look at the Madhyamaka explanation, all the yellowheads go one way to say. All they will say exactly the one, because the Lama Tsongkhapa clearly wrote that. What's his idea? Now, when you come to the Dzogchen, today I will explain the Dzogchen, the point of view of the great master Longchenpa. Have you heard the Longchenpa? Longchenpa came same century around the Lama Tsongkhapa. And I used to tell the joke, Lama Tsongkhapa and they was both graduated from the same monastery, but they got a very different idea. I don't know. They was graduated and they studied in one same monastery called the Dzogchen. That's why I built up the monastery in the Nepal. That my monastery, I gave the name Dzogchen. That is the ancient time, very important, the monastery. Lots of the great masters have been there and studied from that monastery. So that's why the Lama Tsongkhapa and Dzogchen explain from his point of view. Okay. Now the Dzogchen's idea and the Madhyamaka idea, to Lama Tsongkhapa's way of how he explained the Dzogchen's way, especially, but the Longchenpa how he has explained, because the Longchenpa was a great master, no doubt it is, great master, and not only the great master. What I admire him is the scholar. He was the very scholar in that monastery, scholar, great master, great practitioner. Same monastery, the Lama Tsongkhapa started, he was also the great master, great practitioner, great scholar. Yeah, both. So that's why if you come to the Dzogchen, the explanation, other tradition might explain the different way, okay? That can happen. But I will base the Dzogchen explanation on the Longchenpa. So now comes the Dzogchen and the Madhyamaka two school. These two schools trying to explain about the reality. Very simple way. How they explain about the reality. Let me ask you the one question. When you have the good tea, the taste of the tea, where does that exist? That exists on the tea or mind or in your tongue. Did you get my question? If you get my question, that's enough for me. I don't need the answer. Answer is how I will tell you how the Dzogchen explain, how the Madhyamaka explain the answer. Did you get my question? So now the Lama Tsongkhapa, especially the Madhyamaka school, how they explain is interdependent. The good taste exist. It's a very interdependent. Not in the mind, not in the tea, it's not in the tongue. But when all these causes produce the result, the good tea. So now we come to the Dzogchen's that special Longchenpa's idea. He will say that this is something just a taste, good taste, bad taste. It is something that is not existed there at all. Are you getting my point? One side have very much existed because of it's a result of the multiple causes. One side said what the cause, what the result. There's no right. Are you getting my point? No. This is what I explain is a very much. This is what I explaining at the time of 13th or 14th century explanation. I'm going that, okay? Now around the 17th or 18th century, their explanation got very much changed. Okay, they are trying to bring everything as the same. Okay, they're trying to say, oh, no matter whatever the tradition, everything is the same. But I don't feel they are not the same. That is the unique of that. That is the beauty of it. If everything is the same, there is no beauty in there. Example, if you go in the market, if you see every person as looks like you, how do you feel? If all the person in the market exactly looks like you, how do you feel? You will feel very bored. Am I right? I'm 100% sure you will feel bored. If everyone looks like you, there's nothing beauty in there. Am I right? So, 18th, 19th century, they're trying to explain this, all are the same, comes to the same, everything is the same. But I don't see that as a beauty in that. There's a way, both sides have a logic and the reasons that how you explain it. So I'm talking about a 13th century's explanation. So that's why the taste. Now comes that from the Madhyamik schools, they pay too much importance for the interdependent arising. You have heard about it, no? Interdependent arising. They pay too much importance for that. So they say that to understand the Madhyamik, to understand the reality, first you have to understand the dependent origination. This is the very important. When the Longchenpa's, his explanation is not that. He tells that no, you don't have to go through all the complicated logics and reason. Just stop that. Just look inside. Just catch it. What the thoughts coming in your mind. Just look into your thought. Just look in your thought and see that, because you have to see the thought is have you heard about the clear light? Clear light. So that's say that when you look inside the thought, whatever the thoughts, let it rise. And let it rise, come, just look into your thought. You have to see the clear nature of your mind. But the Madhyamik Lama Tsongkhapa explanation is, he didn't talk about looking at the mind. He talked about self. He told that whoever understand the reality, whoever understand the emptiness, whoever wants to understand the Madhyamik, whoever want to understand the emptiness, first they have to look into the self. He paid the more importance of looking into the self than the looking into the mind. Am I clear? Now 18th or 19th century scholars say, no difference when you look at a mind and when you look at the same, it's the same. But if it is the same, then why they debate at the 13th or 14th century? They debate lots of the book. You will see the debating each other, all these books. Are you getting my point? But the debate is not a bad. Very good. I like it. Because the more you debate, things get more clear. But the big difference, you should know the debate and the argument, okay? In the debate, ancient time, they are debating, finding what is the truth. Nowadays, we argue each other to finding who is right. At the ancient time, they debate, try to find what is the right. Right now, we argue each other to find who is the right. That's a different, okay? So that's why now the Lama Tsongkhapa's point of view now comes back to his point of view when you explain the Madhyamika school, the dependent origination importance. He paid that. And the second thing is that he said that whenever we example like a tea, good tea, whether the good tea exists or not exist. Tea is exist or not exist. Good tea is exist or not exist. That comes out. Now they started, Lama Tsongkhapa says that, yeah, it exists. It very much exists. But the ancient system say that it does not exist. It's like a state of the dream. You see the animals, you will see the tigers and the lions, which does not exist at all. But you will see that. But you will feel it. It does not exist. Are you getting my... So things, how they prove both sides. they will saying that who says that the things are not existed, they are saying that how can we prove that T is exist? How can we prove it? Normally we say that the T is exist because I see it. Then they say, the ancient system say that when you see it, how can you be sure that you might be not seeing the flower? You might be seeing the maybe something else, but you feel that you're seeing the flower. How can be you so sure that you're seeing the flower? That is a quite similar. Have you heard about the Descartes, the theory? No? Have you heard that? His theory, Descartes, the philosopher, French philosopher, I think Descartes, the theory. He come to the conclusion that the I think, therefore I am. He is very sure that the I is exist. Other than that, he is not sure that whether things are exist or not. Exist, he is not very sure. This is the ancient, before the Lama Tsongkhapa. This theory is very popular. Even if you look at the Lama Tsongkhapa life story, he told that he feel very comfortable with that idea. He meditate on that when nothing is exist, non-existent. He meditated several hours, he told that. After that, after he having the Manjushri Buddha visualization, then the Manjushri Buddha told him that he gave the lots of the instruction. Their story is very interesting. He gave the lots of the instruction, and the Lama Tsongkhapa told the Manjushri Buddha that now he cannot understand anything what the Manjushri Buddha is saying. Then the Manjushri Buddha told him that, okay, write it down. Once you don't understand it, write it down. In the future, you will know it. The story is very important. The story is very important. Why it's important is that how we will know that Lama Tsongkhapa was having the visualization of the Manjushri. How can we prove that he is not having some sorts of hallucination? Are you getting my point? There is one very interesting story. There is one student who, whenever he meditates, he see the ghost approach him, comes to him and disturb his meditation. So he asked his master, whenever I meditate, the ghost come and disturb my meditation. What should I do? Master told him that whenever ghosts come, you should do the one thing. That student already freaked out and told that how can I do anything? Because ghosts know all my secret. The ghost comes and tell me my secret. What I steal, what I told the lie to the people. Every secret the ghost know very well. Even some secrets no one knows. Only myself, I know it. But the ghost know that and tells me. I cannot hide anything. So master told me, don't worry. Whenever the ghost comes, put your hand into the barley grain. I'm not so sure you know the barley grain. In the Tibet, it's a very famous barley grain. They make that, the tsamba. Tsamba, you know the tsamba. Can you raise your arm who do not know about tsamba? Okay, you don't know tsamba, no? If you don't know the tsamba, then Google it, okay? Maybe tsamba is just like a white flour, okay? Just Tibetan people eat all the times, okay? Okay, the barley grain, okay? Barley grain, and put your hand in the barley grain and take out the handful of the barley grain. Then ask the ghost, how many pieces of the barley grain in your hand? Just ask that. Then exactly when the ghost came, he put the hand inside and pull out with a handful of the barley grain. Then he asked the ghost, how many pieces of the grain in my hand? Then ghost disappear. Ghost don't know the answer because himself is not knowing the answer. When you are having the hallucination, exactly that will tell you the things that what you know cannot tell that what you don't know. But the Lama Tsongkhapa case is Manjushri Buddha talks and explained a lot of the things that Lama Tsongkhapa could not understand it at all. So that's why the Manjushri gave the instruction, write it down, you will understand when the right time comes. So that's why the Lama Tsongkhapa, then after the saying the Manjushri Buddha, his whole idea got changed. Then he come the Madhyamaka, that idea, the things are getting existed. Manjushri Buddha told the things are existed. You have to pay too much attention to the existent. Don't deny the existing. But ancient, the Longchenpa's great masters before them, they are saying the things are not existed. So that's why these two things. Now if you look at the 19th centuries, the great master, they come to again bring the two traditions, the common base together. They read the books, okay? But I'm talking about the time of the 13th to 14th centuries time, okay? That is a time when these old ideas arise. I myself always feel the 13th, 14th centuries, a golden age of the Tibetan Buddhism history. Lots of the great master came. A lot of the different theory arise. A lot of the different idea comes. It's very unique and very nice, the time. Then the 16th, 17th century, all the great masters just follow the repeating the same thing and the repeating, okay? If you look at the history of especially Tibetan Buddhism history, okay? So now the thing is that, so that's why how we can say that the tea is exist. So Lama Tsongkhapa trying to prove that thing is exist because we feel it, we see it. That's enough. We don't need anymore to investigate. Just we feel and we see it. Let me tell you the one story. There was one master who was teaching a dharma to the king, and they told the king that everything is not exist. You are not exist, I am not exist, and the things are not exist at all. Then the king asked the question, are you exist? He asked the master, are you exist? Master with full confidence, he said, no, I'm not existed. Everything is not exist. How can be I existed? So then the king told, okay. Then king asked the general to arrest the master, take to the execution ground and execute the master. King gave the order. General caught the master and they took him to the execution ground. Ancient time, when they execute, what they do is that they just dig the ground and that they put the person, the criminal, under the ground until that they can see the head, and they will bring the elephant and they let the elephant crush the head of the criminals. They do that. So that's why they buried. That's why general they buried the master under the ground up till that they can see his head. Then general went to get the elephant. Then he was bringing the elephant to crush the head of the master. When elephants are approaching to the master, king came at the execution ground and asked the one question to the master. Master, do you exist? Master screamed and said, yes, I exist. Elephant exists. All exist. When he come in the king's throne, when he was sitting very comfortable, having the tea, he said, I am not exist. You are not exist. When when king brought him, general took him in the execution ground, his statement got changed. Now he say he is exist. Elephant is exist. Everything is exist. So that's Lama Tsongkhapa saying that we don't need any evidence. The feelings itself is that shows that everything is existed. Like that master, when he was comfortable, he can throw out a lot of the different theories idea. When in the execution ground, everything gets changed. Now look back to that master's thought. What do you think? Now after he bring out of the execution ground, if you ask, Master, do you exist? What will he say? Do you get my question? Okay, so that's okay. So here existed. Now that comes to after the realization point. Realization points. What's happening is that when the master realization point, what happened is that the masters, the Lama Tsongkhapa's view and the Longchenpa's views come into the two. Here comes with the two different ideas of the realizations. Comes that when the person realized the emptiness, that have you heard about the two truth, conventional truth and ultimate truth? No. The Lamrim Tsongkhapa always says that the first we have to understand the ultimate truth. After that, we will understand the conventional truth. But the Longchenpa is saying that the true truth, when you understand, you have to understand it together. This true truth should be understood together. This is the Lamrim Tsongkhapa is saying that first we have to understand the ultimate truth, then we will understand the conventional truth. But the Longchenpa is saying, the Dzogchen's, the Longchenpa's point of view is that no, you have to understand it together. So that's why to understand the ultimate truth, to understand the emptiness, what you have to do is looking into your thought, look into your mind, search your mind. The moments that when you feel like a lost, moment when you feel that there's a nothingness comes into your mind, then now you are reaching the very close to the realize to the emptiness. That is the Longchenpa's point of view. But the Lamrim Tsongkhapa is saying that not looking into that. Lamrim Tsongkhapa paid too much importance to bring to understand with the analysis and the experiment. Let me get you the how he explained, okay? Have you heard about the Einstein, the theory, no? I'm sure that you know the ECM square, 1 to 1. To understand that theory, what you have to do, you have to go through a lot of the calculation, no? Without doing the calculation, I don't think you will get the point. So Lamrim Tsongkhapa is exactly saying, to understand the emptiness, first you need to do a lot of the calculations, a lot of the analysis, then you can understand that. Now the Longchenpa, he's saying that no need for the go to all this, the process of the analysis. Just go straight to search the mind of the nature. That is what in the Longchenpa textbook, okay? Now later in the 19th century, one of the great master come the Mipham. I'm not so sure that I have heard that the Mipham. Mipham, when he explained the Longchenpa text, he went to explain the Longchenpa text exactly like how the Lamrim Tsongkhapa explained. Mipham was a great scholar. He knows the very good idea of the both of the tradition. But when the Mipham comes and he told exactly that when he explained the text of the Longchenpa, he went to explain exactly like a Lamrim Tsongkhapa. And he said the one very interesting thing. He said that he knows the Lamrim Tsongkhapa view very well. But nowadays, people could not understand the Lamrim Tsongkhapa views very well. They are dead. So that's why Mipham, when he explained that, he said that the emptiness, to analyzing emptiness, to approach to the ultimate nature, to understand the Madhyamaka Dzogchen, whatever, you have to do the analysis. That he have clearly said that in the Mipham. Mipham was a great scholar of the Longchenpa follower. Have you heard about that Mipham, no? Mipham, no? Mipham said that. So Mipham said that whatever the Dzogchen, whatever the tradition, however they explain, the approaching way, he comes to the Lamrim Tsongkhapa tradition. He said that exactly to the analysis, understanding, analyzing. He said that. In the book, I'm not so sure you were able to get that book in the English. Oh, in the Tibetan, it's called the Ngeshir Drome. Ngeshir Drome is the lamp of conviction, maybe. I'm not a translator, so maybe I could not translate well. In that textbook, he have clearly mentioned that, okay? So that's why now coming back to that why he feel the Lamrim Tsongkhapa's the approach is the very special, and he explained that. Mipham is actually he's from the Longchenpa's the follower tradition, okay? Why he feels that because of as I mentioned before, Lamrim Tsongkhapa, when he was talking about the Madhyamaka or this Prasankika view in the Tibet, it's a very new ideas came to the. I can't say the new. It is a very new approach. When he was explaining that time in the Tibet, very new approach. What makes that new approach is that at that time no scholar will explain like that way. Because Lamrim Tsongkhapa got all this idea from the direct visualization of the Manjushri Buddha. From the Manjushri Buddha, he got the instruction, and from the Manjushri Buddha, then he explained that. So that's why he says that everything, the idea, he got it from the Manjushri Buddha. Manjushri Buddha had to explain that. Yeah. So now my question is that if you had the direct visualization of the Manjushri Buddha, what should you ask him? I always tell my student, if you have the direct visualization of the Manjushri Buddha, you should ask super lotto number. I'm serious, okay? If he can tell you the exact super lotto number, he is 100% the Manjushri Buddha. If he cannot tell it, he is not Manjushri Buddha. First thing is you have to investigate what you are having the direct visualization is the true or the false visualization. Okay, the super lotto number, okay? In case, if you give you the right super lotto number, don't hide me, okay? Don't share with me, okay? Because why I'm saying is that, okay, so, okay, sometimes for the fun. So sometimes when I go with the store here in America, students, sometimes I ask them to go in the store, and if they want $2, I ask them to buy me the super lotto. So one of my student, he told me that he won $8 for any lottery. So he was asking me that about the $8, what he have to do. So I told him, buy the 8 super lotto. If you win, do you know that I've established the Dipkar Institute in America? So if you win, give the money to our institute. And so that is the thing, okay, the direct visualization. So now the important thing is that when you are practicing it, first thing is a very important thing is that you have the understanding is very important. After the understanding it, then the analyzing is important. After the analyzing, the third level is I always say you should try to become your own master. I always tell my student is the master and the student is the label. Master have to lead the student. The student don't have you should not have such kind of the thought that are relying on the master on the whole your life. If you rely the master whole your life, then you will become the follower. You cannot become the master of yourself. Buddha said that you are your own master, you are your own student. To become your own master, first you have to study, understand, analyze it. Once you know everything very rightly, then you have to stand on your feet. Like a spiritual journey is the way in the spiritual journey, everyone have a different way. Once you went through the spiritual journey and when you succeed that, whatever the way you follow, when you turn it back, it will be disappear. You cannot exactly lead the others on exactly the same way. That you have to understand. Because my own experience, my master, he was he was the ex-abbot of the Seraje. I spent nearly the most of my life with him. He was a great master. He was a great practitioner, great philosopher. In the class of the philosophy class, he debate and very well debater. And when he practiced, he's a very good practitioner. Sometimes, whenever comes to the practice point, and whenever I ask him, he used after, what do you think? What do you think? He will never tell that he have to do like this and that. After I studied very long, after I started to teach the older students, no? When that time, his answer is very different. He will tell me that, what do you think? When I say something with my own view, and he will tell me, okay, follow that. That is time that he was teaching me to stand on my own feet. So that's why now you all comes to study the Dharma and the Buddhism. First you study, analyze it, understand it, then you practice, then you have to become your own master. Okay. If you reach that state, becoming your own master, please don't forget me, okay? Remember me, okay? So that's the thing. So now this is the way, okay, to do that. So this is just like my conclusion is that generally the Lamrim Tsongkhapa is the idea. And when you look at the Madhyamaka schools and the ideas, no? So it will be great that if you have the time, then you can read the book Liberation in the Palm, okay? In that palm, it explains so well of the Lamrim Tsongkhapa's idea. No other books can explain like that in the very easy and very simple way. And the Longchenpa's idea, it will be great that if you can read the book called the Word of My Perfect Guru, no? These two books I will recommend you, okay? Read these two books, and these two are really, everywhere I go, I always recommend these two books. These are really the great books. And Liberation of Palm is written by the Khangser Rinpoche. And why I feel very close with this book is the Khangser Rinpoche. Have you heard about the Khangser Master? And 7th Khangser Rinpoche one time invited the Khangser Rinpoche 60 or 70 years back, okay, invited in the Lhasa to give the teaching of the Lamrim teaching, the 7th Khangser Rinpoche, okay? So that's why I feel Lamrim teaching. That's why I feel the book is very much connected with me, or I feel close to that book. Not only because of that, I'm saying that the book is, because when I'm telling you I'm the Zoom classes, no, I'm the Zoom classes, we teach about that book. Based on that book, I'm teaching that liberation in the palm, okay? So in that book, especially if you look the emptiness chapter, it explained the so clear that the Lama Tsongkhapa's view of the Madhyamaka view very clearly. Lots of people used to ask me that how will they know when they realize the emptiness? How will they know they realize the emptiness? They used to ask me. Now you might be expect that what's my answer? Anyway, so that's the thing. Okay, so maybe today, maybe I will stop.